Hello, this is a tutorial on installing SDL 2.0 for Xcode 4.x for the iOS and so on. So you want to go to the downloads pages and you want to go to the download SDL 2.0, the SDL website, and then download SDL 2.0. This is pretty much similar to SDL 1.2, so it should be approximately the same. So yeah. Anyway, you want to download the source code, which is here, right? And so I've already got this downloaded, so hold with me. So extract it, and open the folder. Now, if you read the README iOS, you'll probably know how to install it, obviously, but the thing that it doesn't mention though is when you build it from the command line, I believe, from what I've noticed, is that it uses GCC. So in other words, if you want to use C++ 11 and you don't have GCC 4.8 or whatever the one, I believe it's 4.8, you won't be able to use all C++ 11 features. Whereas if you build it with the default Apple compiler, I believe you'll be able to use majority, if not all, features of C++ 11. So in my case, I want to build it with Clang, which is Apple's Clang version. Okay, so in which case I do not want to build it from the command line, so I can't use the script. So I'm just going to have to use the project. The Xcode Project. So you want to go Xcode iOS, and then you want to go to SDL, and you want to open the SDL.xproject file. Alright, so now we have this. Now you want to build this 4 times, 2 for release, 2 for debug. Okay, so the reason you need 2 for each configuration, we could have more if you want, but you need 1 for the simulator and 1 for the actual device. 1 binary for the actual device, 1 binary for the simulator, in order for it to work. So to do this, you're gonna have to go, if you want to build it for the iOS device first, expand this and go to products. Just build it, Command B. It may take a while actually. So, because mine's already indexed. So, I'm going to show this to the file, and you want to go upper folder. Okay. Now you want to build it for the simulator. I believe I still have this last time. So you want to get a simulator. So either one works. Either one will build the simulator version, iPad or iPhone. It doesn't matter which one you choose. So build that for the simulator, and it shall be there for the debug version. Now you want to do the release, in which case I'll show you how to do that. So you just edit the scheme, and build configuration, release, and do the same thing as you did for the debug. Build it for the iOS simulator and the iOS device. Alright. Now you can close the Xcode project because you no longer need it. Now, what we'll be using is a Lipo tool to combine it into 1 binary, 1 for debug, 1 for release, so it's less of a hassle to use for your build system. Anyway, to test out and stuff. So we want to open a new terminal in the products directory for the SDL2, where you just compile the library. If you don't know how to do that, you just cd to this directory. cd as in drag that. Yeah, you understand? Anyway, so what we'll do is we'll just for simplicity's sake, we'll just rename this to iOS D sim d and iOS and then sim. Now we'll just move all these to this folder so I don't have to fuck around with it. Anyway. Alright, so we'll use the Lipo tool to combine the debug binaries first. So we'll type Lipo and create, then output. And then what you want to call the binary, so SDL2, I'll call it iOS, and D is an extension. Actually, I can't use the iOS there because it may or may not, I'm not sure. So I'll just go iOS. Not iOS. Call it that. Just for simplicity's sake. Okay, so now we'll just provide the two binaries that we want to combine. So libstl2 d.a and libstl sim d.a. My bad. libstl2 sim.a. And then, as you've noticed, it should have compiled it to this. So that's both of them. So we've got that. So we can delete the debug. We don't need them two anymore. And we'll do the same for the release. So we'll just get rid of the D extension, the brief suffix. Oops. And there we go. Now we want to copy them to files to wherever you're going to install it. In my case, I install it typically in user slash forgot. Oh my goodness, I'm a bit tired. User slash local slash lib. Yeah, that's where I install. So go move libstl iOS d.a to user local lib SDL2, and I believe I need sudo. And I'll do the same for the release. So if I open user local lib, it should be there. Now, since we just compiled the binaries and we don't have a framework, because frameworks do not work on iOS, I believe third-party ones that is. So we're going to have to copy the header files to wherever we want to install it. In my case, I usually install it similar to where I install the binaries to user local include. In my case, I've already got this there. I call it SDL2 to differentiate it with SDL 1.2. Okay, so I've got it installed, so you can copy it, it's the include files in the main directory of this. Okay. Also, I'd like to mention that the Xcode Templates, I believe, is it here? Template. These ones do not work for Xcode 4, as I don't have the XC templates extension, and I don't have the correct format because I changed it from Xcode 3. Anyhow, you'd be able to copy it, but I recommend starting from scratch and copying the one that you've made. So as in the one that we're making now, as this one may be made with Xcode 3, and they may have changed stuff since iOS 6, iOS 7, etc. So anyway, open up Xcode, start a new project, and we'll go to iOS application, empty application, click next, and call it whatever you want. SDL iOS, in my case, device, whatever the heck you want to target, etc. etc. Create it wherever you want. Now, here comes the magic. You want to delete the app delegate files because you don't need them because SDL provides them for you. And you want to go to the supporting files. You want to go to the main.m. You change the extension to C or CPP depending on what you're going to use. And in my case, I've actually got a little test application for me already, which uses OpenGL, so OpenGL ES that is. So actually comment this out. I'll link this to you and I'll make sure you don't have to comment this out. So anyhow, now once you copy that, now we want to be able to compile it. So in this case, it uses SDL and just OpenGL ES. So, but SDL actually depends on other libraries to be statically compiled with it. So anyhow, so you want to go to the project settings, and you want to go to the build settings, I believe, and then you want to go to search paths because you want to set where you want to freaking search the library. So the header search files in my case are user/local/include. And this library search paths are user/local lib. So once we got that, and we want to go to the linker options, extra linker options, and we want to link to SDL. So SDL2 die. Why did I put die? Never mind. Alright, and for debug, we want the D prefix. Yes. There we go. Okay, so that should work. Now, I believe it still shouldn't compile because SDL still requires some extra frameworks. Maybe I've misspelled something when I built it. Let's look. It's SDL2 iOS, isn't it? SDL2 iOS D. So my bad. A bit tired. Linker. That's not just a linker. SDL2 is it prefix? Oh, this is from previous attempts. So it's underscore iOS. And underscore iOS. And it still should fail. 92 errors, not bad, not bad. Now we just need because as I said, it still requires some other frameworks. It requires all these frameworks, but it also requires OpenGL in this case especially OpenGL ES, because for one, in this example we use OpenGL, so we're going to need it anyway. But your thing may or may not need OpenGL, but typically you're going to want to use OpenGL anyway. So anyway, link to OpenGL ES, and also the audio core, is it? Audio U toolbox, I believe. Yeah. If you get this error, object C class SQL layer, you will need, I believe, the you will need to add the framework. I can remember. the Quartz Core, I think. The Quartz Core framework. Yep, there we go. Layout builds. There we go. So that should work. Now, unfortunately, I can't show you iOS device because I don't, for one, have an Apple developer thing, and I don't have my iOS device connected anyway, so I'll just show you in the iPhone simulator for simplicity. So it should work either way. Also, if you go back to the the source file, you can actually find the readme.ios, readme iOS, and it actually says how do you use Game Center, how do you use the keyboard, etc., etc. Also, touch events, accelerometer, so forth. And like the file system too. So there we go, red screen, because that's what it's supposed to do, which is exactly the same as what it's supposed to do in the SDL2 for the desktop version of this tutorial. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed, I hope you learned something.